From Omro down to Mayville, from Rosendale to the Ledge, and everywhere in between, it's time to get you caught up on everything happening in the Flyway Conference. This is the Flyway Focus Sport Report, your home for the best whip-around coverage of your favorite local teams. Now, with all the latest, here's Jordan King.
Good Friday morning to you. The Flyway Focus Sports Report is brought to you by Cole Oil and Propane, providing energy solutions for Flyway Conference Communities for over 100 years. Check them out at www.coleoilandpropane.com. A couple of important conference games in the Flyway last night. One boys, one girls. We'll start on the girls' side in Rosendale, where the Laconia Spartans opened up a two-game leading conference play with a low-scoring 46-37 win against Springs. Laconia got 25 from Tierney Madigan. Jasleen Loynes led Springs with 17. In boys hoops, Winnebago Lutheran helped itself and a few other teams in the conference by going to Springs and beating the Ledgers 62-54. Gannon Schwartz had 27 points, but Coach Mason Denoyer says he got big contributions from his senior leaders, even if they didn't score.
I told a couple of our guys, you know what, they don't have to score to impact this game. For example, I don't think Miles McCauley scored a whole lot of points, but man, was he ferocious on the rebounds and was he physical in defending. So those two things, and Marcus Christensen, man, did all those guys step up. I told our guys in the locker room that 1 through 13 stepped it up.
That audio courtesy of KFIZ Sports Director Chuck Freeman. That game results in the top half of the Flyway being razor thin. Springs still holds a one-game lead at 7-1, but look out below. Laconia, Lomira, and WLA all sit 6-2, and all four teams have the second part of the round robin against one another this year. Elsewhere in boys hoops, Omro lost to Kiel 81-63, tough non-conference game for the Foxes. In wrestling dual action from last night, Lomira stayed unbeaten with a 46-27 win against Winnebago Lutheran. Senior Marshall Hankey picked up career win number 150 in the duel. Lomira still has one duel left to make up. That's tonight against St. Lawrence Seminary. If they win that, they'll be dual season champs. Campbellsport, meanwhile, locked up at least second place last night in the dual season with a 57-28 win against North Fondy Springs. Omro will finish third in the duels. They beat St. Lawrence 58-24. And finally, Laconia beat Mayville 66-12. Moving on to today's schedule, 3 girls hoops games. Lomira heads to North Fondy. Lomira is 5-4 and in 4th place. The Lions have a game and a half of separation between themselves and the 5th place Orioles. Josie Christian still averaging north of 24 points per game for Lomira. The first time these two teams met, Lomira won at 63-40, but North Fondy was without Allison Now. Omro is in 3rd place. The Foxes host Campbellsport tonight. Omro junior Ava Cook sits 3rd in the conference in scoring. Omro blew the Cougars out the first time through. And WLA trying to drum up some momentum. The Vikings have lost 6 of their last 7, but maybe a chance to change that tonight at home against Mayville. WLA beat Mayville by 26 earlier in the season. The Cards, though, in the midst of their best stretch of the season, they've won 3 out of their last 6. We already told you about Lomira St. Lawrence wrestling. Big one there for the Lions to lock up the dual season title. In hockey, the Warbirds host the Hayward Co-op at the Blue Line. Puck drops there at 5. And finally, just like to take a moment to say thanks to everyone who reached out and congratulated my wife and I on the birth of our second son yesterday. We welcomed Dax into the world yesterday morning. Couldn't be more excited for our new adventure as a family of 4. Thanks for your support. Also want to thank KFIZ Sports Director Chuck Freeman once again for being willing to share some of the sound with me so I could hang back and spend some time with family. That's it for today. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Hoping to get back out there tonight. Don't worry. Only if the boss feels good and gives me permission. There you go. We'll talk to you in the morning. For the Flyway Focus Sports Report, I'm Jordan King.